What's going on, YouTube? RDAP Dan here, Federal Prison Time Consulting. Breaking news. Pretty sure we're the first person to post on this, to comment on this. I don't think any news stations or reporters have done anything with this yet. So we're going to give you guys a couple of moments to join us. CJ's still updating stuff in the description of this video. So hang tight here while we get everything going. Captain Grimes was sentenced. And I know this was a last minute video for you guys, and we're kind of in an awkward time where we don't typically go. So we'll give you all a few minutes to join us. How's everybody doing today? I'm excited. We've been waiting for this asshole to get sentenced for quite a period of time now. And it's finally happened. Been sentenced. If I can get... What's going on? Oh, Todd. Jeez. Todd, don't worry about apologizing, but I just think, man, you just need to rethink things you do. But I appreciate your apology. Thank you. Jessica, what's going on, Jessica? You guys go visit Jessica Kent's page. Got the awesome, beautiful, talented Jessica Kent in the room with us. She's got an awesome, awesome, awesome YouTube channel. Way cooler than mine, I'm not going to lie. Yes, Juan Carlos, I got my makeup on today. Can't you tell? Tamara. Hey, Tamara, how are you? All right, guys, we're going to jump into this. So we've been waiting for a long time now. Captain Grimes has all kinds of sexual, they're no longer allegations. He pled guilty to it. Even rape charges that are going to be coming down the pipe on this guy. He's had sexual relationships with many of the female inmates at Alderson Women's Prison in West Virginia at the camp. He was the captain of the prison. Anybody that has any issues, anytime any of the females would feel threatened, or if anybody was making any kind of sexual advances, Captain Grimes was supposed to be the person you could trust to go to bring this to. And Captain Grimes completely misused his trust and his power. Ultimately, there was an indictment brought down on him because enough people came forward, which we've done several videos on that. We should, here one. And CJ's not going to block any comments today. He's going to let all the comments come through the floodgate. We want to hear what you guys got to say. So, Captain Grimes, his base offense level, guys, once he pled guilty to the charges, and you can go through some of the older videos, we'll post it in there. His base offense level was between a 16 and an 18. They were trying to figure out exactly where he was going to land, which means he would have been looking at 21 to 33 months, low end to high end, based on the guidelines. Now, the prosecution was asking for a much heavier sentence, saying, look, this guy abused his power. He knew what he was doing. He was manipulating people. There was enhancements that were added to this. And I think the situation is they listened, and they're making a giant example out of this man. They gave him 120 months. I know some of you are like, that's not enough time. But for what he pled guilty to and what the prosecutors went after, he was looking at 2 years. And then good time, things like that. He would have been looking at, he'd have been out in a year and a half, 2 years tops. This man got a 120-month sentence. Captain Grimes, Jerrod Grimes, he no longer deserves to be used. I just use the word Captain Grimes because it sounds funny. It's like Captain Grimy. But he no longer deserves the title of captain. He got the title he deserves. He's a straight scumbag that ruined a lot of people's lives. And not only, look, the prison system is rough enough as it is. Anybody that's facing prison time, there's already enough to deal with. You shouldn't have to worry about staff taking advantage of you or making advancements towards you or raping you, as you're going to hear in another upcoming story that we have regarding this guy. The judge made an example out of him, and he's not going to go to some camp. He's going to have a sex offense charge, 120-month sentence, followed by 120 months supervised release, which is probation. He's going to have to register as a sex offender, which means he's not going to be accepted in a camp. He's going to have to go to a low or medium security prison. He might start off at a medium with such a high sentence. He probably will hit some kind of a PC or protective custody or the SHU. He's not your... Look, we've seen cops in and out of the prison system. I knew cops that were in prison. They didn't really have a rough time. This guy's a combination of a rapist and law enforcement that specifically was ruining lives of other inmates. So he's going to have a really, really rough time wherever he goes. We're going to be following to see what prison he lands in. So we're going to continue to update you guys on this. But this is breaking news. Nobody else has reported on this. There's no reporters that have gotten this yet. I am in talks with WAO. Is that the news station? Yeah, I can tell you right now. I think it's WAO News out of West Virginia. It is, pull it up here real quick. I think it's WAO. You find it, Ches?
WKTV?
No, that's all right. Anyway, I'll be doing an interview tomorrow with a couple of news stations on this guy. We've been following him, and man, I was really afraid that he was going to get away with, a short sentence. We see so many people. Let me see if there's any comments going on in the room right now. What's going on? Beyond Lockdown. Oh, is that Brian? No, who's Beyond Lockdown? He will get treated worse for being a formal correctional officer than a rapist. I believe so. It's going to be pretty rough. Here's the thing. He's going to go into protective custody. If he does hit a low, yes, there's going to be some level of protection, but this guy is not going to have an easy go at prison. There's a lot of people that are in prison that have family members, loved ones. Everybody knows somebody within the system. And if anybody is on a prison yard where this guy is, that has a friend or a family member that's at Alderson, West Virginia, or that was at Alderson, West Virginia, the women's prison, he's going to really, really pay some consequences. This guy may not make it. He may end up hanging himself. He may commit suicide. But nonetheless, he got a chunk of time. 120 months is not what he was expecting, is not what he accepted in his... That's why you guys, plea agreements, people ask me all the time, well, I signed a plea. Doesn't that mean that the judge has to sentence me to a period of time? In most situations, you see judges go either within guideline ranges, or a lot of the cases you see them go below guideline ranges. But when there's an example that needs to be made, and this is a perfect example of the judge doing the right thing. This is a perfect example of seeing the criminal justice system kind of doing what it's meant to be done. And the judge took everything in, he regarded it all, and then he decided to impose a sentence above the guideline range of 23 months was the max end of the guideline. So he was handed down a very, very, very nice sentence. 120 months is no fucking joke, man. Anybody that's been to prison, a lot of you maybe have had 120-month sentences, and it sucks bad enough being away from friends and family, but when you're facing the type of unknown anxiety, fear that this guy's going to be facing, Captain Grimes has no idea what to expect. And that's probably good, because that's going to keep him on his toes in a bad way to where he's not going to be able to relax. He's always going to think, shit, it's just going to come back and fall back on me now. We really want to know where he's going to be sentenced to, and that's going to be something that we're going to be looking at. They may try to send him far away to the West Coast. I don't think they're going to do anything easy for this guy. I don't think they're going to make his family visits easy. I don't think they're going to take any of that into consideration. I think they're really going to add extra. Look, not only did he hurt tons of people, not only is he going to go to prison, he also made a mockery of the system who put him into this position to begin with. The prison's being sued big time, not just for this, but for another client that was raped by him. And the prison's got to settle on probably a multi-million-dollar lawsuit for actions that this moron took. So I imagine the prison system as a whole, the judicial system as a whole, is going to go out of their way to make an exemplary example of Jerrod Grimes, aka Captain Grimey, by sending him to different spots, probably put him through a little bit of diesel therapy. We already know he's remanded into custody as of now. He's been in custody. He hasn't been allowed out, because if I were him, I would have ran if I had the opportunity. So we're going to really see him, we're going to see this guy take definitely an abusive beating going through the system, and we'll probably see him even maybe take a physical abusive beating from other inmates that just are not going to sit well with what he did. Does he deserve to be beaten? I'm not here to judge anybody. I know that if it was my loved ones that he had taken advantage of, I can't, it's hard to say what I would want to do and what I would want to see happen to him. We've been speaking to a family member of Captain Grimes who he molested when she was younger as a child, but she won't come forward. She doesn't want to share her information or her name or anything because she's afraid how the family will view her. And that's understandable. And we see that happen all of the time. But this guy, this isn't when you read like his sentencing allocution and some of the stuff, did you put that link to those documents in the video, Ches? The link that was in the other video?
Oh, no, not yet.
Yeah, copy that link. We'll throw the link in there, and I'm going to link other videos to this video if you want to see any of the other following we've done on Captain Grimes. What's going on, Jessica Kent? Cyberdoc, what's up? What's up? Who else we got in the room?
Oh, good. Jay Hoogie.
Oh, what's up, Jay? Jay's a client. Oh, Todd. $5, Todd. Appreciate that. Well, I'll talk to you later, Todd. If you want, I'll send you an email. We'll get back on track here. Tamara, Juan Carlos. Yeah, we got a decent Tim Garcia. What's going on, guys? You know, we've been wanting. I've been up since this morning, calling the courthouse. Nobody wanted to give me any information. There was nothing in Pacer. I called the prosecutor. I called the defense attorney. I called reporters. I've been calling everywhere trying to find out what his sentence was because I know a lot of you have been waiting to hear this. And dude, I'm on Pacer, stalking, clicking, refresh. And soon as it popped up on there, we jumped on here with this video for you guys because, you know, who doesn't want to have the first one to put the story out? RDAP Dan, reporter and journal extraordinaire. But yeah, this is a case that I've been following. This is close to my heart. Shelley was in female prisons camp, and she told me a lot of times guards would make advancements towards the women. And Jessica Kent can tell you she was in state prison, who's in this room. Make sure you go check out her YouTube channel. Go check out Brian from Bounce Back. Was Brian in the room? Somebody was in the room. Who's Beyond Lockdown? Who is that? Is that Beyond Lockdown? I know who you are. I forgot your channel name. You were supposed to be on with us with Jessica and Brian the other night. But these are all people that have turned their lives around, that have taken their prison experience, and now they're turning to YouTube and they're sharing their stories. Some stories are more entertaining than others. Some stories are more informational than others. But at the end of the day, you're seeing people like myself, like Jessica, like Brian, like Beyond Lockdown, that have taken their shortcomings and taken odds against us. Everybody knows once you're involved in any kind of a system, you get in trouble. Typically, it's very hard to get out of it. And we're here trying to defy those odds by showing you guys that, look, we have something to offer. We're valuable to this community. The work that we do here at Federal Prison Time Consulting it's beyond my wildest dreams, anything that I ever thought I'd be doing. And I take such pleasure in getting the ability to put out videos like this. And doing these collaborations with Brian and Jessica and other people that have gone through a hard time that are now using that to their benefit to be a voice for so many others. Jessica will tell you should do a video, Jessica, on how long you struggled before you were confident enough to post your first YouTube video and what caused you to not post your video, because a lot of the same reasons that you were afraid to post your videos are a lot of the reasons why people are afraid to share their stories about where they've been. If more of us shared our stories and made it not such a taboo subject, more people would be willing to engage. We'd actually have this community, like-minded, individualistic attitude to where we can talk about something without fear of how people are going to view us. Because if people are going to view us bad, fuck them. We don't care. It is what it is. There's plenty of haters out there, but for every hater, there's somebody that's going to show love, show support, and you might be able to change somebody's life by the story you have to share. So I would like to see a ton of YouTube channels pop up of prison-related content. Of course, we all want the subscribers, we all want the views, we all want the monetization of it. But at the end of the day, if you can do something that's really cool, really inspiring, help tons and tons of people, bridge gaps, show that there is some good within the judicial system, show that they can do things good like this, like make an example of their own. This is their own. Bit the hand that was feeding him, and now they got to fillet him and put him on an open example of this is what not to do if you want to become a prison guard. You know, this guy, he was ex-military. He had everything going for him. He had a wife, kids, ruined his life, ruined many others' lives, and now there's been an example made of this guy, where he's going to go. He's not going to have an easy time in prison. I was in federal prison. I was in a low security where there were other sex offenders. And I can only imagine having the label, basically as a sex offender, having the label of sex offender, not just correctional cop, but captain of a prison overseeing women that abused his power. This guy just has every bad thing going for him that exists, to the point where it's like, is this a comedy? Is this a tragedy comedy? Because you don't see typically things like this getting exposed. And I want to be able to take some of the credit for exposing this, because when this story first came out, we started hearing it from inmates. We started doing our research. We were able to find some stuff on Pacer, but nobody had done stories on this. The Bureau of Prisons, the court systems, they all wanted to keep this very hush-hush because it doesn't paint them in a good light to show that what type of preventative measures were taken before this guy became a captain. What type of psych evaluations were actually done? Did they go out and interview him and his family? Did they go talk to neighbors like, hey, what type of person is this? He's getting ready to have the power over hundreds of women that are already at a very low point in their life. Do we need to worry about somebody like this that has that power? Same thing with teachers, college professors, anybody that's in a position of power that can exert their power over women or over somebody that's lesser than or weaker than them. And he completely demonstrated what's called power orientation, assuming his power over others and using it not for good. He had the ability to change lives for the better, and he chose to destroy lives and make a mockery and push the prison system further into the gaping holes of, we already don't like the system. We already have a million horrible things to say to it. So when something like this pops up, people are going to jump on it and say, this is why I don't trust the system. Because you have guys like this that ruin it for everybody else. So Captain Grimes, good job. You succeeded in fucking up your life, ruining the lives of several women, handing yourself a 120-month sentence, registering as a sex offender with 120 months supervised release. You're going to be bounced all over the BOP. You're not going to have an easy stay. Friends and family of Captain Grimes, disassociate yourselves from him. And this goes to your kids. Captain Grimes, your children should disown you because you are a despicable specimen that does not deserve any empathy from anybody. Not from me, not from the viewers, not from the lives that you've destroyed. You brought this on yourself. I don't care if you had a sex addiction. You should have found a way to deal with it. You should not have taken a job at a women's prison. If you knew this was something that you were going to struggle with, you fucking made that choice. You made your bed. You're going to sleep in it. I made my bed. I went to prison. I dealt with my time. Fortunately enough, I didn't go with such a taboo crime that is going to ruin so many lives of so many other people. So guys, take a strong look at this man, and this is what you do not want to do. If you're somebody out there struggling with sex addiction, child pornography, and you haven't been caught or you haven't faced any music yet, use this as a wake-up call. Get help that's needed. If you're afraid to share your story or you're afraid you're going to be judged, I promise you, if you call me, I may not agree with what you did, but I do not want to see this continue to happen to other people. So instead of just throwing you out to the trash, I would rather point you in a direction of somebody that may be able to help you so this doesn't happen to somebody like my children or somebody else's children. People can recover. Maybe Grimes will turn into be an advocate in the future for, policies against women and prison systems. PREA. Guys should check into PREA. PREA is an organization, PREA is an organization that is throughout the prison system. We had it listed anywhere. See something, say something. And how do you say something in a prison when the person that you're supposed to bring it to is the one that's handing down these brutal advancements and rapes? Very sad. Very, very sad. All right, guys.
We got Todd gave us 2 more. We got another $1.99.
Guys, we're getting ready to go use this money to buy beer and cigarettes. I'm just kidding. We're getting ready to use this money that you guys have donated. We think we've received, we're right about $100 right now, give or take, in donations over the last 2 weeks. And we've got 2 guys in prison right now. You guys are already trying to help one of them, Sean Cowgill. If you guys do want to donate, throw the PayPal link in there, Ches. It's in the description. It should be in the description unless you didn't grab it. I'm going to throw you my PayPal link. I appreciate the donations through YouTube. Absolutely. Every penny of it counts, but YouTube takes 30%. So if you guys do want to donate, Ches is going to post the PayPal link in the description of the video, and he'll also post it into the chat. So Sean Cowgill is getting ready to go to the halfway house. He is indigent. He has 0 money. He never asks for a dime. However, he did tell me that he just found out they will not let him go to the halfway house until he has his birth certificate, social security card, and an ID, which he just doesn't have the money for. In total, it's going to cost him somewhere in the neighborhood of, I want to say it's like $65 or $70, somewhere around there. So if you guys do want to help out, and throw a couple dollars towards these causes. These are individuals that are good people, made mistakes like you or I made a mistake. They're in the prison system right now, and fortunately they don't have anybody to help them out. So we make sure they get things so they don't go completely without. We've got another guy, Scott Oler, who's also in the prison system, who was going in with a struggle. His wife left him since he's been in prison. He's really battled addiction, and he's been fighting it in prison. Hasn't fallen yet. He's doing the right thing. And, we would like to add a couple of dollars to him for continuing to fight his addictions. He had a pretty bad opioid addiction going into prison. And we all know, just because you're in prison doesn't mean you're not going to get your drugs. And he's been fighting it. So if you do want to do it, every little bit helps. Ches just posted the link for PayPal. That's also, you put it in the description of the video too, Ches? Mm-hmm. It's also in the description of the video. So if you guys want to help, we're going to do a video on that this week. And we're going to show you the money that we're donating so you guys don't think I actually am buying beer and cigarettes. I don't drink beer. I'm not a beer fan. Well, once in a blue moon. I'm more of I like my whiskey. I like my whiskey neat. No, I like it on the rocks. And thanks to a client of mine who turned me on to Jack Honey is my new go-to. But very, very blue moon. Very social drinker. Anyway, that's all I got for you guys. Do you have any questions for anything before we go? Any questions about Captain Grimes? Man, I got to post this before any other news media grabbed it, and we know we're going to see the stories coming out.
Somebody's a probation officer asking for videos of yours.
Somebody's probation. Juan Carlos. Oh, Juan's. Okay. Give me your probation officer's phone number, Juan. I saw you called me yesterday. I've been a little busy. I'll actually call you after this. But yeah, guys, we do work with a lot of federal probation. We're hopefully going to be doing some work with the Federal Defender's Office here in Eastern Washington, all the way through Idaho, where we're going to be working with them and their clients. So we're actually we're making a difference out here. People helping people, community is method, one day at a time, guys. So keep it real. If you got anything else that you need, shoot me a call. You got my phone number on this screen. My email address is rdapdan@gmail.com. Hopefully, if you watch this video, you see there is a link in here for PayPal. We've got a few guys in the prison system right now that are going without. These aren't, loaded, white, rich collar individuals. These are inmates that are struggling. We've got another guy that makes stuff and sends it to us to share with you guys. So we're going to be hopefully showcasing some more of those products as well. Yes, sir. I will give you a call, Tess Marin. You got it, CyberDoc. We got to add CyberDoc as a moderator in the room. I see he does a good job on Brian and Bounce Back. So in days that CJ doesn't make it, maybe we'll have Kevin. What's up, Kevin? You're surrendering tomorrow. Yeah, I haven't heard back from you, bro. I would love to put you in the program, but I never heard from you or your mom. If you want to give me a call and you just got some last minute questions, give me a call, Kevin. I'm sure you're watching this video for all kinds of reasons, but you don't have anything to worry about, brother. Nothing that you have to worry about like this guy does. Captain Grimes, sentenced 120 months, followed by 120 months supervised release, reporting, and has to register as a sex offender. Game over. Goodbye. You are done. I'll talk to you guys soon. I love every single one of you. Keep it real. Talk to you soon. Peace. I'm out of here, guys. I said that like 3 times. I'm out of here for real this time. Beer and cigarettes.